Anyway. Once you fill this out and click the request an account button at the bottom, that will generate you your own personal username and password. You then turn around and log in on that same screen with your personal name and password, and it'll get you into the application.
So the website is citydataservices.net, and that's where you'll find the login information.
If you already have a username and password, you'll just log in with that. If you have a current program. And this is the same screen you'll see when you create a new account for yourself and log in. You will get to this screen where this will list your agency over here, and then there will be a link over here that either says apply or reapply for FY 2020. And that's the link you're going to use to get to the application. There's also this big green button up at the top. If you have a current program and you also want to apply for a new, different program, you would use this button up here to start the new application for the new program. If you're just reapplying for your existing program, please use this link down here to get into the application. Okay, so there's this big red message across the top that your login will time out after 3 hours without a save. You do need to save your work periodically. The easiest way to do that while you're working on the application is there are save and continue buttons throughout the application. Just click that, it'll save it, bring you back to where you were, and you can keep working. So if you do that once an hour, once every couple hours, you'll be nice and safe. If you leave it up there and walk away from the computer and don't come back for the rest of the day, you're going to lose stuff. So just beware that it's very prudent to save regularly. So the first part of this is all just contact information. Some of this will be drawn off of that little form that you filled out if you're a new applicant. If you're an existing applicant, most of this will be filled in from what is already inside of City Data Services for your account.
Also, at the very top, can you scroll? There are some links. So if you need to see the NOFA, or if you need to review any of the information, those links will open up so you can have the information that's behind them.
And also there's always a help on every page of CDS. There's a help with this page button. It has various information about, wow, this is really fast Wi-Fi. Has various information about the form itself, but it also has our contact information down at the bottom, phone numbers, emails. If you have any trouble with the application, please give us a call or send us an email, and we will work with you to get it to work. We don't want you struggling, having trouble, not being able to save it, any of those things. That's bad. We don't want that to happen.
Yeah, do it right away. Don't try, figuring things out 5 or 6 times or whatever. Just call us or email us, and we'll get back to you,
promptly.
Quickly, yes. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're having that problem, somebody else is having the same problem. So we just want to get after it.
Yes. Okay, so the top part here is mostly just factual questions about your agency. When you come down into here, you're applying for CDBG funds. Most of you will be applying for public services. There's a couple other choices, but generally it's public service. And then in this box here, you put the amount that you want to apply for. If you're doing multiple projects, they ask for priority between the projects. From your opinion, that won't apply to most people. The most important thing is once you've filled these couple little sections out, click this button here to update the application, because the application is different depending on what you apply for. So this sets up the application with just the questions that you actually need to answer.
A question on multiple projects. Is that multiple projects in the same category, or is that?
No, with the same applicant.
Got it.
Okay, so then we get into a lot of questions that are HUD related, having to do with how you're collecting, what type of program you're running. So we'll just pick youth services here. And then what type of national objectives that you're meeting. Okay, most of you will be doing activities benefiting low and moderate income persons. Most of you are also going to be LMC, which means limited income clientele, and so that generally means that you have to collect income data about the people that you're serving. And the various choices there. There are lots of text boxes. Most of them are character limited. As you type into it, you'll see these characters start to count down. It's not a contest to try and put the exact number of characters in there that are in the that are allowed within the application. It's better if you're concise. Staff is more likely to read it if you aren't ridiculously verbose. So try and be precise and to the point, and staff, everybody's happier. It works better for everybody. Various other things that are HUD, particular points, areas that they're concerned about having programs run in. Various other HUD questions there. This gets down into scope of work. What are you actually going to do? And this gets into how many people are you going to help? And types of activity.
There's also the green boxes throughout the application, so that allows you to build the table. So if you want 2 or 3 or 4 activities, then you put the number in the description in that table. So, and you put the number in, click outside the box, it will build it, and then they'll build the table up.
Okay, so that'll pop open and give you various activities. Okay, questions about funding availability? What happens if you don't get all the money that you requested? They want to know what your ability of your program to operate with if you don't get this grant or you don't get as much money as you would like to get from the City of Seaside.
Going back up to the consolidated plan. So there's a reference there to the consolidated plan. There's a link there to the plan, so you can just look at it and then fill out the information that you need to put into this question.
I'm not sure you've given us a link to your consolidated plan, so be
Well,
sure
we're
you
in the
do.
process of updating it.
Okay, once it's done, send that off.
I can give you the
previous
new
one?
priority needs, and
Okay.
I'll just, and
Yeah.
then we just talked about that, and I'll
Yeah.
send that to you. So
Perfect.
you can update that.
Okay. So this is another thing that's important to CDBG programming, which is leveraging. How much additional funding do you have? Are they funding 50% of your program, or are they funding 5% of your program? Typically, they're more inclined to assist if you have a lot of money from other sources also, and so they're not footing the entire bill from whatever your program is. But again, that's up to Seaside and the way they make decisions, but historically that's the way they like to see that programs are funded from multiple sources and not dependent on just one opportunity. Lots more questions. This table down here is a little tricky, and some people have difficulty with it. They want to know what you're getting from or proposing to get from the City of Seaside, and what kind of areas those fundings are going into. Is it going to staff? Is it going to supplies, equipment, such like that? And then they want to see for the other types of funding that you have, what areas are those things supporting? And so you fill out this table. It should equal to your entire program budget, or agency budget, excuse me, for your full agency budget.
Yeah, so again, this has the green box. So say if you're asking for monies for staff and supplies and equipment, then you can build and put that information in there, so.
Right.
So you want a full budget developed in those lines?
It just in these they want to see the entire agency budget, but just in these general categories. And again, it doesn't have to be to the dollar. They're trying to see how the money is distributed and what you're spending your money on in general. This shows any grants or awards you've had from the City of Seaside in the past, listing the projects and the amounts funded. This part gets into some very specific CDBG portions in terms of how many people are you going to help and by quarter how many people you expect to serve. CDBG works a lot off the concept of unduplicated beneficiaries, and you need to understand what that is. The CDBG year runs from July 1st through June 30th. Unduplicated are people that you serve you count them the first time that you serve them during the course of the year. So if you have one person who comes to 10 seminars during the course of the year, that just counts as one person the first time they come. If every seminar you've got a whole different group of people, then you get to count everybody through each seminar. CDBG is quite concerned about staff and how staff funding is spent, so there tend to be a lot of questions in the applications about that. They want to know for each of the staff that you intend to fund. They don't need to see staff who are not being funded by CDBG funds, but anybody that you're proposing to have funded by CDBG, they want to know what the job title is, what % of their full-time employment is being paid for by the CDBG funds, and how much money you're asking for. So the process with this is you fill out this little section up here at the top. Let's see if I can get this to work. Why this jumps up to the top of the page. There we go. Okay. So put in staff names and
It's not position.
Actually it's job title, you're right. Sorry. Yes, actually don't use names, put
Position, because if you change staff during the year, then you can have that same position funded, and you don't have to try to
Right.
juggle it around
As you-
budget adjustment.
As you fill this out up here in the staff section, you'll see it gets automatically copied down into your budget down here, so you only have to enter that once. You fill this out with whatever other funding amounts that you want. This $10,000 is the amount you entered from up top at the top of the application. This is what your budget actually adds up to. Those two will have to match in order to be able to submit the application. So this is what you're asking for from the City of Seaside. This should be your entire program budget for what you project for it to be next year or this coming year, and for what this is this year.
I have a question. Is the form printable in case people want to have
Yes.
a paper copy to gather their information ahead of time?
Well, you can't really print this out, but there is a print version of this that you can use and print out if you want to work with that. I'll show you in a moment how that one works.
There is a print version, and it will print according to the 8.5 by 11. So, but it's it's at another page basically. So. Yeah.
Okay, then there are quite a few attachments that are requested. Some of these are required, and some of them are just recommended. The more that you can do helps your application. The more that the people who are evaluating this can see what you're doing, and you're well organized, and you have these various documents available. That always helps come time to evaluate. If you don't have these things, please provide a reason for why you're not uploading these documents. The reason can be it's not applicable or it's not relevant for some reason, but they want either an upload or an explanation for why it's not uploaded. To do attachments, you come down here, back up. So you check off the items that you are planning to attach. And come down to the bottom, click on to the Upload Documents page. And the attachments is just like an email or various other things that you've uploaded in the past. You come over here, click Choose File, and we'll open up a box, the usual box, and you find whichever thing off your computer that you want to upload, and click Upload Document. That will upload it and attach it, and you'll see a listing over here of current attachments.
Yeah.
Try doing this.
Sometimes we get a lot of calls because sometimes your computer screen, it just shows you a portion of this page, and so you just need to make sure you scroll over to the right to see the whole thing. So it's
Yes, if you've got long attachment names, it tends to push the upload portion of this off the edge of the screen. Okay, so when something is actually attached, you'll see it here listed under current attachments. If you don't want it attached there, you can click this little red box and that will make it go away. Yeah.
yeah, it still will be in the system, but it won't be attached to your application.
Right. If
So
you
are there preferred formats for attachments? PDF,
no, whatever is
Excel?
appropriate to what type of document or what type of information you're trying to provide. It will take anything in terms of attachments.
Just make sure that you name the attachments so that throughout time you'll be able to discern which one belonged to which application or what year and what it's relevant
Right.
to.
If you're uploading articles of incorporation, call it articles of incorporation or something of that nature, and it makes it much easier for everyone.
And give it a date
Right.
also.
Yep. If you have an existing program and you've uploaded your insurance already or some of these other items, you can come into this attach existing uploaded documents and just pick them off the list and upload them from there. And so you don't actually track the document down somewhere else and upload it once again. You can just get it right from there. Okay, whatever boxes you checked on the application itself will show up over here. When you're finished doing uploads, you click Return to Application and it will pop you back over to the application. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, so once you've submitted your application, if you do it before the deadline, and for some reason, you've talked to Sharon, you've got some major something, then Sharon can return it to draft, but it's kind of it's under really special circumstances. If you've submitted your application, so let's go ahead and go to the upload, or the report page.
Okay.
And you just need to add documents, upload documents. You can still do that after your report or your application is submitted, so you don't have to undo your application to upload additional documents. So this is your report page, and this is, many of you are familiar with this because this is where you see your quarter report. So your application will live here under draft until it's submitted. Once it's submitted, then you'll see it waiting city review. But you also see this is where there's a viewer print, so you can go ahead and take a look at it and print it out, and then it will fit 8.5 by 11 if you need to do that. And then also the upload feature is right next to it, so if you need to upload items. If you have an item that you've uploaded that is incorrect, or the wrong year, or something like that, you can upload the correct one, and it will write over that document.
If it has the same
if
name.
you use the same name. So.
Right.
Just a question. I know in some of our documents in the past, like the P&Ls and things like that, where they're actually fairly good size.
Yes.
Is there a size limitation here? And if there is, how do you split the documents?
Yes, the size limitation is about 25 megabytes. That's enough for most things. If you have to split it, that's the best thing to do. You can actually, on the upload document page, you can upload multiple documents on any of those line items. So if you have part 1 and part 2, just upload them in 2 separate parts.
Okay.
And when you get finished, it'll take you either to the reports page or take you back to the main page. And this is the page you'll see when you log in. So that's all there is to it.
Right, you did say that you were getting the printout for.
Yes,
Yeah,
Right.
that's,
The overview.
yes.
right, that's on the report page.
Right.
Can you go back to it from where you are now?
Yes.
So there's two, so the best way to go, but actually, yeah, so go back to the front page.
Well, this link will take you directly into the application. It doesn't take you to the reports page on this screen.
So that application.
Right, this link here will take you directly into the application itself. If you want to just get to your reports page, click on your agency name, and then on the next page, there's a big link that says go to reports.
Right. Or if you have something sitting in the next report column for the folks that are using this, this is not their first time using it, then that also will take you to your report page directly.
So this is the application here. When you come back to work on it again, it's click to complete. The viewer print link here will give you a printed version of the application. Here, when you're working on it, the boxes are whatever size and it's hard to see everything. If you use the viewer print, it'll all be printed out and you'll see the entirety of it on the screen. But this is where you can print this as a PDF. On most computers, if you right click and click print, you can choose print as PDF. So if you want just an electronic copy of it, that's the best way to do it.
When is the application going to be active?
It's active today. You can run right home and start working on it.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So again, if you want to print it out, this is the way to do it. Print it off of this screen, and you'll see all of the options that you have to work with here.
There's a feature where you can expand the box, the text box in the application.
Yes.
Show that.
I'll show you that, yeah.
So the print version will show your texts in complete.
However much space it takes.
Right.
But it's teeny tiny print, isn't it?
Well, it's not huge, that's true.
So,
Yes, one thing to know about these text boxes is that they are whatever size here on the screen, but you can grab the bottom right corner of these boxes and make them as big as you want them. So sometimes that makes it easier to tell what all you have inside that box.
do anybody have any questions?
I just have something for Sharon. I'm wondering how many organizations you're currently funding.
Currently, we have 8 public service, 5 projects. 5 for
Capital.
last year we had 17 total. We had a lot last year.
So the capital projects, are they within that $65,000?
No, those are the
That's
other
money.
category, yeah. Yeah, capital, you have a better chance probably of capital projects, but if you ask for a lot of money, and you all ask for a lot of money, yeah. I mean, it's all going to depend on what everybody asks for and how it all fits into the puzzle. And then we're in, like I said, these are estimates. I don't know what the federal government is actually going to award to us, but generally, the guesses are fairly close.
I know you probably said this at the beginning, but could you repeat how applicants find this form? Is it on the City of Seaside website?
It is not on the City of Seaside website. Yeah. And it's not going to be, because the only way you know to do this is you had to be here tonight. So make sure you write this down. Steve's going to tell you again.
So we are City Data Services, and the website is citydataservices.net or .com. Either one works. And it will take you to this page right here.
Yeah, it's also in your PowerPoint too.
I believe it, yeah, I believe it. I have their phone numbers are in
Yeah.
there.
Okay,
And
then I also have, there's a business card of ours, so if anybody wants that, it's on that too.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
So would you mind repeating how you establish a number of logins? Because if we have one with the city of Salinas, for example, it's not gonna work with the city of Seaside, so we have to start. over.
Although our phone numbers in City of Salinas do, so
Okay,
you
you
can
can call.
but we'll tell you.
If,
So,
yes, right. So again, if you don't have a City of Salinas, if you're not doing a project right now that's funded by them, then it's SEA 2020 for
Right.
both username and password, and that will get you to the point where you can create a login for yourself.
Okay, but if we have a city of Salinas
Yes.
login, that works, gonna work for this?
Yes.
Okay.
Using your City of Salinas login?
Yeah.
Mm,
no.
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 So then we need
Give
to-
us a call and we'll make it work for it. And then you don't have to create a new
Yeah,
login.
so if it's anybody with City of
Okay.
Salinas or
Monterey
Monterey County,
County.
if you already have, yeah, just give us a call and
We'll set
connect
up
it.
so that you can get to both
Yeah.
jurisdictions. Yep.
Then in the future, it will be the same thing, bring it up.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, once you're connected, yeah, then you'll be connected to the
Right. And again, if you apply to Seaside and you later apply to Monterey County or Salinas, there should be a button at the top of your application when you open up that says import from your Seaside application,
Yeah.
and that will save you a ton of time
If
because
it's-
you won't have to do it all
Yeah,
again.
if it's
That's really
for
nice.
the same program.
Right.
Okay, if you're gonna do a new, different program for one of them, then you'll need to do it, click the new different program button.
But won't we have to have Seaside specific information?
Well, there will be some, but you'll just
Yeah.
have to edit it as
Some of the
opposed to
other stuff will
starting
be
from
Right.
scratch.
Yeah,
Right.
'cause, yeah, there'll be a good chunk.
Yeah.
It's like starting with a page that's not empty.
That was great.
Yes.
Do we know if Monterey County's, the Salinas funds are similar to Seaside, or is it all different?
I think they get
Way
more. They get way
different.
more.
They get a lot
So
more money
Salinas
than
gets
we do.
a ton of money, and Monterey County has a fair amount also. Yes. Well, okay. That's true. Okay. And again, don't struggle with this application. If you have any problems at all, please give us a call. We're always around, and we're here to help. That's what we do.
I was wondering, you have a link there for, kind of like the city priorities and so on.
Yes.
It goes 2015 to 2020. It's going to be updated with.
Right.
Yeah.
Once we get that
Yeah,
information.
we just did this, so.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you
It's-
can,
Yeah, is that the information that you share with us, the urgent for new consolidated?
Right, what's in that PowerPoint is what they're gonna update it to.
yeah.
Right.
So,
Right.
so if you like, we can, PowerPoint, and we can put a link to the committee's priorities, and any of that stuff you want on the list, just give it to us and
Okay.
we'll
We can all-
Yeah.
So basically, there's going to be a link saying, how do you match those priorities?
There'll be a reference on it, so you can look at them and then the questions that are applicable to
Right.
those.
There's a question in the application that says how are you addressing these priorities specifically?
And we don't expect you to address every priority. It's like, what's in it?
So you can pick and choose the ones that
Yes,
work.
you don't have to,
Yeah.
I mean,
nobody is going to fit all the categories.
And just for clarity's purpose, those priorities came from the Meeting Plus, the CDAC committee that took that meeting and kind of like
Right, that
made
was,
it into like 4 or 5.
they did that at the October meeting.
Okay. I think we're good.
We'll toss it back to,
All right.
because the
yeah.
meeting is still going.
Thank you very much for that presentation. I imagine you probably will get some follow-up questions.
No doubt.
If anyone does want to leave, we're not quite finished yet, but before you leave, make sure you have signed in, so this is how we're gonna prove that you were here when, we're gonna match it up against the signing sheet. Watch. Back to Sue.
All right, so the remaining item on the agenda is for the committee to review the long-range Sharon, if you would
I'm
just.
gonna come over this way because I'm like yelling across the room.
That's fine. And,
Have a nice Thanksgiving.
Okay, good.
so if
Okay, my recommendation to you guys is at this point, if you don't think you're gonna have a quorum, speak now, so we can readjust these things, because the next meeting is very important, we have quorum, which I'm getting a little worried about. We're dangerously close. Right. So,
at this point, I do not know of any conflicts. Left on the
and
calendar.
you might want to consider, and we're gonna have to decide this tonight, people are here tonight. Maybe a special meeting. You know, you might not want to do it all in one night. You might want to have a service one night and check the project out.
Yeah, well, and also, I'm really curious how this is going to work us if, you know, if it's all online and everything, so,
Yeah, see how it goes. I mean,
yeah, I would like a pre-discussion of the logistics.
we can, yeah, we know where the binder is, back.
Going away from the binders is like 90% good. I just want to make sure that we haven't made it.
How are you?
Good to see you too.
It will be easier to try and get it this way than, how we got to this meeting. Sometimes we got them in paper, sometimes we got them on the drive, sometimes we got them. Yes, sometimes we got them on some kind of little files that staff had to figure out what order they needed to go in. This way, everybody's brainstorming. So we can work that.
All right, so thank you. And I'm going to stop right there. Committee, do you have any additions or questions on the long range plan? Then, unless anybody has any further staff requests, I'm going to go forward with that request and a motion to adjourn. All those in favor?